A book that chronicles the travels of a man that has come to be liked and hated in equal measure. The flame of freedom has hit the bookstores after it was unveiled today.
And I will now ask you.
Politicians, professionals and business moguls conveyed at the KICC to witness the colorful lounge. Speaker after another praised former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for his role in the second liberation of the country.
Being looked for because at the time everyone else is cheering just to be safe, even when there's nothing to celebrate, you're daring enough to tell the powers that they have taken the wrong turn and the nation is in peril.
He's a brave man. I've been asked many times to write a book, an autobiography, and my answer always has been that I am not that conceited.
Mercenaries live for themselves at the expense of a majority of the people. Raila Odinga, as we know him, and as you read in his book, he was a missionary.
Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo was the chief guest in the event, termed Raila as a great leader who has contributed towards good governance in the country.
Raila has shown leadership with sacrifice. Writing a book like Raila has written requires discipline, courage, and integrity. Discipline because you have to sit down and discipline yourself to think, to recall, to put down, and to check and recheck, and before you pass it to the publisher. Courage, because if you are afraid of stepping on stone or on their toes, you will never write a book.
The occasion was also graced by members of the Odinga family who were full of praise for the man they termed as a fighter.
I first came to meet my dad when I was 9 years old. This was when he first came out of detention in the 1980s. Before that, I knew my father. All I knew from my father were from stories from my elder siblings, relatives, and photos. I remember the day my father was released from detention.
The author dedicated the book to the youth, terming it as a step in the future.
So what I've done there is for posterity. It's not for convenience only for today. Our society is moving and is evolving very fast. But you've seen that I have dedicated this book to the youth of Kenya.
He narrated how he progressively nurtured his passion for writing from the time he was in detention.
This is a book which has taken time to prepare. When I was rotting in detention, I decided to spend some of that time in writing. And after a lengthy request, it took years, they finally agreed to allow me to do some writing.
Popularly known as Tinga, Agwambo, Baba and Jacom among his ardent supporters, Raila in his book recounts his life in politics, more specifically the power struggles in his quest to occupy the highest office in the land.
I know of nobody in this country who has the sheer ability to tolerate and little tolerate injustice like our brother Raila Odinga. Until Africa gets to that stage where we call a spade and not a big spoon, we will truly not be able to lift this continent to the next level.
This story is not a story about Kenya. It's a story about Africa. And that's why I'm concluding by saying that the Africa's march to the realization of the African dream is unstoppable. We have a date with destiny, and we must all make our contribution wherever we are. As a country, we have made a lot of progress, and we need to be proud of what we have achieved so far. But then there is still a lot to be achieved.
The autobiography is not the first to be published about Raila. Past chronicles about the former premier include Raila Odinga, the enigma in Kenyan politics, and the controversial works done by his former aide Miguna, peeling back the mask and kidneys for kings. The Flame of Freedom will retail at 2,900 shillings. Eric Biegon reporting for Channel 1 News Hour.